This lamp ran on nothing but a falling weight and could give you reliable light for an entire workday. No batteries, no fuel, no smoke to choke on. Think about the problem for a second. People needed dependable light in places where fires were dangerous or slow to maintain. Miners crawling into methane-rich shafts, sailors working below decks, homes and workshops where open flames were a constant hazard. Candles and oil were available, sure, but they were expensive, messy, short-lived, and sometimes outright deadly. The need was straightforward and stubborn, a self-contained light you could trust to keep burning without constant tending or a steady supply of fuel. The historical solution sounds almost too simple to believe. Instead of storing chemical energy, Victorian engineers stored gravitational potential energy. You wind the lamp by hoisting a heavy weight. Let the weight descend slowly, and that controlled descent drives gears that power the lamp's little mechanisms. In plain terms, lift heavy stuff up, let it come down under control, and harvest that movement to make light. It's old-school physics solving a practical problem. Elegant and stubbornly reliable. Here's the quick why. Gravity is predictable. A weight doesn't run out like oil, it just sits there until you lift it. Once lifted, it wants to fall, and that desire is stored energy you can release slowly. For people who needed trustworthy light, that was gold. No refills, no chemical batteries that die, and no open fuel reservoirs to spill. It was a running solution for the age of steam and gears. Now pause, and here's the pattern break. This contraption was trusted underground, where a single stray spark could blow a mine to hell. People put their lives on the line with these lamps because, counterintuitively, a well-built gravity lamp could be safer than the run-of-the-mill oil lamp. That fact alone turns heads. Folks thought they were looking at a novelty, but miners treated it like life-saving kit. So how did it actually work without getting bogged down? At first glance, a gravity lamp is a simple loop. Potential energy in a lifted weight becomes steady mechanical motion through gears. That motion runs a small pump or drives an air supply and metering system that produces a stable flame or excites a mantle to glow. The real brain of the machine is in the regulator, the part that makes sure the weight doesn't dump its energy all at once. In day-to-day terms, you'd wind the lamp at the start of a shift. You'd lift the weight up inside the lamp's housing and lock it in place. Over hours, the weight would descend as the gears turned. But thanks to a governor or braking mechanism, that descent was slow and steady. The motion powered whatever the lamp needed. A pump to pressurize air or vapor, a valve to feed a small, controlled fuel flow, or a mechanism to keep a mantle incandescent. The net effect was bright, stable light for a predictable span of time, long enough to finish a shift or get through a night. Let me walk you through the key parts, plain and practical. The battery is the weight, usually some hefty metal cylinder or block that you raise by hand. The higher you hoist it, the more runtime you store. The heavier it is, the more energy it holds. That's the simple math of mass and height. People of that era were used to winding clocks, and this was the same idea scaled up and redirected. The regulator is the clever bit. Left alone, a falling weight will dump its energy too fast. So engineers used governors, spinning weights on a spindle, to sense speed. As the mechanism turned faster, centrifugal force pushed the governor's arms outward, which tightened a brake or adjusted a valve. That feedback loop kept the output slow and steady. It's the same idea used to tame steam engines, keep it under control or things go sideways. What that steady motion did depended on the design. In some models, it drove a tiny air pump that pressurized a fuel vapor or pushed a stream of air into a burner assembly. In higher-end versions, it worked with a fragile incandescent mantle, a mesh that glowed white when heated, giving off a clean, bright light without a naked, dangerous flame. The motion could also run bellows or operate a small generator in later hybrids, but the core was the same: mechanical motion, controlled pressure, consistent illumination. Why did miners care? Because the lamp could be sealed and made safer. A gravity lamp could enclose its flame or radiant element behind glass and gauze, and because it didn't rely on a big exposed pool of oil, there was less chance of spills or sudden flare-ups. You could take it underground, wind it up, and trust it to run through the day. That reliability matters more than you'd expect when every minute in the dark is a risk. The design showed Victorian engineers at their best. They borrowed from clocks, steam tech, and early pneumatic systems and mashed them together into something practical. They understood regulators, they could machine precise gears, and they knew how to make small pumps that lasted. The lamps weren't perfect, but they were thoroughly practical. These lamps weren't glorified toys. They needed maintenance. Gears wore, leather brakes needed attention, mantles could get brittle and required replacement, and seals had to be kept intact. But compared to lugging barrels of oil or gambling with open flames in dangerous environments, the trade-off made sense. Mechanics you could maintain in a workshop beat constant resupply logistics. Let's put some texture on the story. Imagine a working pit in the 1800s. A miner winds his lamp at the surface, taking care not to nick a cable or cross a gear. Down the shaft he goes, ladder creaking, boots wet. The lamp, tucked safely at his belt or on his cap bracket, is a small, steadfast sun in his hand. He doesn't worry about refilling, and he's not constantly feeding a flame. He can concentrate on the work, not on preserving light. For families and households, the lamp offered a different kind of independence. You could have light without being chained to a constant supply of fuel. Of course, history moves fast. The gravity lamp's heyday didn't last forever. The late 19th and early 20th centuries brought compact chemical batteries, reliable dynamos, and then grid-fed electricity. Flip a switch, and the room glows. No winding, no maintenance in plain sight. Convenience won out, which is understandable. But losing that mechanical ingenuity was also a loss of practical resilience. Where electricity failed, mechanical solutions like the gravity lamp still make sense. That leads to a neat twist. The gravity lamp's core idea is making a comeback. Not in pocket lamps, but in large-scale energy storage. Modern engineers are using the same principle. Lift a heavy mass with excess renewable power and lower it when you need energy back. The physics are identical. Gravity doesn't care whether it's powering a miner's lamp or a grid-scale storage system. It's the oldest battery we have, and it's clean, long-lived and predictable. A few straight-up useful facts to drop in mid-script when you move into the how section. The lamp's runtime depended directly on weight and drop distance. A heavier weight raised higher meant longer light. The governor prevented runaway speed and conserved the stored energy for a steady output. Mantles, when used, converted heat into bright white light without a huge visible flame, which was safer and cleaner. These are the mechanical heartbeats of the system that viewers want to see animated or demonstrated with close-ups. The gravity lamp wasn't just a quaint curiosity, it embodied a mindset. Use what you have, designed for reliability and favour predictable, maintainable solutions. In a world sprinting toward ever more abstract convenience, there's a lesson in that old tech. Resilience often comes from making things simple, robust, and repairable. For 200 years, people lit their work and saved lives with nothing but mass and a bit of clever gearing. Today, we chase batteries and grid power, but the old idea still has teeth. If you ever find yourself without juice and need a little light, remember that the simplest answer in the toolbox might be a heavy rock and a pulley. Not high-tech, but dependable as the sun. That's the story of the gravity lamp, a no-nonsense, mechanical answer to a stubborn human need. It gave people hours of trustworthy light, saved lives in dangerous jobs, and quietly planted an idea that engineers are still harvesting today. If you want to show this on screen, mix a fast first minute of payoff and stakes with a slow, satisfying second half of gears, winding and close-ups. Let the viewer feel the weight and hear the click of a mechanism that for 2 centuries kept people working and alive.